Everyone knows the school system is shit. But how could it be better? As a current high school teacher, use math classes to teach way more about finances/the stock market, so you can prepare kids more for the real world and how to invest in their future when they graduate. Bring home economics back as a required class. That goes for PE too. Edit to add, we have a huge outdoor component to our school, and it makes all the difference in the kids' mental health. Less kids in a classroom. More parental involvement, and more consequences when it comes to parental bullying of teachers. No homework. Let kids be kids after school is over with, and relieve the stress from those high schoolers who have afternoon jobs. I'm with Finland on that one. Less interference from the state on test and curriculum mandates. Higher qualifications for those on school boards and school administrations. They are always the weakest link when it comes to American education. Just my 2 cents. More interactive, more freedom, more practical, more play, less tests. Stop punishing children for when they're late. What were they supposed to do? Drive themselves to school? Smaller class sizes, more teachers that are paid more individualized teaching. Every kid is not the same. Don't treat them as such. Give these kids a chance, and they'll surprise you. Push them into school assembly lines, where no one gives a shit about them. It shows. Hire more teachers and support staff. Give them all good wages, so they're not leaving to any other profession in droves. Pull back on the importance of standardized tests. Change the way students are graded and evaluated. Make it an actual scale of 0 to 100 where the number matters more than a letter of the alphabet. If someone gets a 90 compared to a 60, great. But if someone gets a 60 compared to a 35, have that count as a positive, instead of everything 60 and below count as a failure. It's a messed up grading system. Also pay teachers more. Actually listen and take action when a kid comes to you and says they have a bully or their parents are shitty. Public school funding should be based on student need, not property tax. Schools in low-income areas should receive just as much, if not more, funding than schools in high-income areas. Get rid of that piece of crap known as Common Core. Even the kids say it is a waste of time. As someone who grew up autistic, I can't tell you how often the school system threw me away after promising they would give me help. I was told I'd get a counselor. Didn't. Was told I'd get an assistant to help me stay organized and focused. Didn't. But, on the flip side, I'm glad I wasn't diagnosed at a super young age, because I probably would have gotten thrown in the special needs class where they treated the kids like fucking trash. They would yell at them, take away things they needed to communicate/self-soothe as a form of punishment, and there were also, not even, rumors of physical abuse. I saw many kids get dragged around roughly by their arms, and one kid even got dragged by his coat hood back in line, all by special needs teachers. The way mentally/physically disabled children are treated in the school system needs to drastically change, if it hasn't already. Better parent preparation and support. All-inclusive classroom philosophy doesn't work. Let achievers achieve. School starts at 9:30. For US. Less school. Fewer hours of formal teaching, especially on lower grades. Longer breaks between classes, and no longer than 45-minute classes for young kids. This way the kids are actually able to focus and learn easier. Most children under 10 can't focus longer than 45 minutes. If they can't get a real break, they will take one in their mind by ignoring the teacher. Mind also needs rest to be able to process and store information. If you need to keep kids in school for 8 hours, some of that should be unorganized free time, during which they can read, play, do homework, or just sit and talk with their friends, or all at the same time. Later start times, smaller class sizes. My teacher friends say 20 is around perfect. A lot more time for physical activity spread throughout the day, and it can't be focused only on the traditional sports or team sports. 32-year teacher here. The one fix I would have: stop jumping on every bandwagon of something new and exciting in teaching. Most things were already tried and failed once already. Every 5 to 10 years something new comes along and all it does is waste time, energy, and resources. Caring parents would be a nice change. NCLB sucks. Teachers are paid poorly and hemmed in by rules, allowing actual consequences for students intent on making trouble, and paying teachers properly would do a world of good. Hire more teachers, smaller classes. Pay teachers a better wage, more classroom resources. In short, more funding. Put vocational curricula back in the schools. College has become far too expensive to the only path to a stable life. Get rid of a whole tier of administrators who do very little, except bureaucratic crap, double teachers' pay. To attract better quality teachers. Let any kid go to any school. Invest half of what the government gives to the military-industrial complex / war machine towards public education. Overhaul the curriculum. Half the crap kids are learning is waste of time and effort. Move away from lecture-style teaching to something more interactive and innovative. To keep kids engaged. Abolish homework. Increase investment for free extracurricular activities for kids so anyone can easily participate. Hire extra staff to administer these programs. Build better educational facilities that are fully equipped with best resources for all students. Have free resources such as books, paper, pens, pencils etc. Free healthy school lunch. Free transport to and from school. It's all doable if people managing the money do not eat into it. Like it should not cost $5 for a pencil. Completely eliminate corruption on every level. Make it realistic to earn $75,000 $85,000 as a teacher. Stop the idiotic no child left behind nonsense. I teach college level courses at a vocational school that specializes in the healthcare industry, X-ray, respiratory, LPN, etc. The majority of my students read/write around the 8th grade level. Stop passing kids through the system with subpar skills. Hold them back when remediation is needed. Ditch standardized testing. Treat kids as individuals and address their learning needs by their individuality. The goal of education should not be to hit the marks on a standardized test, it should be to prepare the youth to become productive members of society. A child may not have the strongest reading skills, but they may be the best student in their VOTEC classroom. We need to base the education system on what kids do after school more, so then what scores they can get on a test. Private schools advertise how many Ivy League students they had last year, not the average math score being above the state median. We should prep kids for post-secondary lives with careers in the trades, college education, and/or military service. How about prioritizing the needs of teachers? How many teachers are leaving the profession due to physical or mental stress? The requirements dumped onto teachers in addition to just trying to teach are ridiculous. They have to be supervisor, parent, educator, counselor, cop, and God knows what else. How about letting them focus on teaching and make sure the other stuff is out of that lane? Teach geography. And either test it every few years, or, better yet, get rid of high stakes testing. No homework. First off, get rid of homework for fuck's sake, keep the work at school, don't invade the kids' home life like that. Work-life balance. I know it will slow down the learning and they'll forget stuff, but let's be honest, they already do that. Next, tests shouldn't be just regurgitating information and forgetting it after. Have them apply it in real life. That will help them remember much more than continuing the school at home and invade their personal life with homework. More freedom. The school schedule is so rigid and constricting, it will make pupils feel like it's either work well or fail. Stop with the strictness and fear tactics. I swear in my school people get threatened with detention, calling parents and such. If they had a degree of freedom then they'd probably stop wanting to rebel. Some kids got isolation, Super detention where you have to sit in one room for the whole day with no break and do the lessons through a workbook. For a water fight.